So, I am not going to lie to you. If it feels like Zacian is ripping you and every other player a new butthole every time you play him, well, it's because he is. But there is also a simple way that you guys can address this. Hey, what's up guys, I'm Ezerden, and in this video we are going to go over the best counters for Zacian in Pokemon Unite.
No way! A new kind of Pokemon?
So, being that this is my first counter video, I thought, wow, why not make a Zacian video, right? Because I never go a day without seeing someone complain on Twitter or Reddit of just how broken this Pokemon is. So I figured I just had to make this video. Now, one thing I want you to know before we get into this list is that they are in no way in order. So the first Pokemon we talk about isn't necessarily the top counter, and the last one is not in any way any worse. So feel free to put your best counters in the comment section below, because that is what Zacian wouldn't want, and we are all here for one reason, and that is to learn how to beat the annoying sword dog. And with the first counter, we have Wigglytuff. Now, some of you may be wondering, like, wow, okay dude, why is this Pokemon on here? Well, let me tell you, that's why I'm making this video. Wiggly is one of those Pokemon that I like to call a disruptor. She doesn't have much damage, but put her in the right place and she can easily make your opponents want to pull their hair out. Let's take her move Sing for example. This move allows the user to decrease the movement speed of opposing Pokemon for a short time, and if the enemy stays in the area of effect long enough, then they are put to sleep and unable to move for a short time. So that being said, if you are able to get Zacian trapped in this Sing move, then you can see where it can be bad news for them. Because guys, Zacian's entire combo kit will immediately get disrupted and it won't be able to do jack shit. So do this enough to a Zacian player and then let your attackers come in and deal the necessary damage to make them run or KO them. And oh yeah, by the way, using Dazzling Gleam with Wigglytuff is also another good choice. This move allows you to stun the enemy, and a good combo to destroy Zacian with her is to line up your shots with Sing to put Zacian players to sleep, and then burst them down with Dazzling Gleam. Now remember, this won't be a big damage blow to Zacian given that she's only a support Pokemon, but the fact that she can stun and disrupt combos is the reason why I think she's a fantastic counter to the Sword Dog. So coming in next for the other great counter is going to be everyone's favorite salamander or hippopotamus, whatever you want to call him, and that is going to be Slowbro. So I put him in this list because he is also what I would call a disruptor Pokemon as well. And this comes from two of some of the best moves in the game in my opinion, and he actually has both of them. The first being is telekinesis, and using this move will stop Zacian dead in his tracks momentarily, and usually with enough time for your teammates to deal good damage to him. Zacian is a pretty good all-arounder that relies on its hard-hitting combos and overly buffed moves to nearly one-hit you. So with telekinesis, you can easily disrupt those moves and make it harder for Zacian players to deal massive damage that they are so used to. Secondly, Slowbro can also learn Slow Beam, which is his Unite move and is essentially one of the best moves in the game. This move can stop a single enemy Pokemon's movement while also dealing good damage. If Pokemon Unite players ever needed one move to single-handedly counter Zacian, I'd say it would be this move by far, given its ability to disrupt any hard-hitting enemies. And also, Slow Beam works pretty great at finishing off Pokemon with low health, so use that to your advantage as well if you ever need to pick off an injured Zacian player. Now guys, the next Pokemon may surprise you, but I promise it's one that has recently been one of my favorites to play and is also a good Zacian counter, and that is going to be Alolan Ninetales. Now although this Pokemon is quite squishy, this is going to be the first attacker Pokemon on my list, and this is due to her Dazzling Gleam, which can be so annoying to deal with since it stuns its targets for about 1 second and can also hit from a safe distance. Now this move is pretty cool because it has an area of an effect, which means any enemy support player playing close to Zacian will also be affected by this stun, and this will allow your team to open up some pretty good gank opportunities on the entire team and quite easily, I would say, burst them down. Now the only thing I would caution you guys about Alolan as a counter is remember the fact that this Pokemon is really squishy and can die fairly quickly if you let an enemy team jump on you, so just be sure to keep that in mind. So for the next Pokemon, we have everyone's favorite tree, and that is probably, as you guys guessed it, Trevenant. Now I had this pick in here because I feel like stuns are really the way to go for stopping Zacian, and Tree has one of the best stuns in the game with Woodhammer and is great for disabling Zacian combos. And if you don't believe me, well, then maybe you just need to take a harder look at how OP this Pokemon is. I'd say a really good combo to utilize for Trevenant is going to be Woodhammer and then followed by Horn Leech, which makes him a hard-hitting disabler even for a defender Pokemon. Guys, there's been like so many times where I've been playing against a good Trevenant player and they just keep healing with their Horn Leech and their Woodhammer and last so ridiculously long in battles. So guys, the way that I would try to take down Zacian with Trevenant would be, like I said, the Woodhammer and Horn Leech combo. And not to mention as well that this combo also does some pretty good healing for the tree if Horn Leech does hit successfully. So guys, let me know down in the comments who you think is the best Zacian counter, or if you think I missed one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.